Good morning to all of you. Students, how are you? Hope you are doing good. Okay, I'm thankful to some of students. They kept my words. They watched the videos accordingly and gave their feedback in the comment section. Thank you. Thank you for them. One more thing, just like you yesterday witnessed that Google online examination or test, in the similar form we are also going to have in social studies or social science in the coming week. So be prepared for that. Okay. Today I am going to take up civics chapter number 2, that is secularism. The reason for taking this chapter is this is very small. First of all, we will be able to finish it in one part only, and we are able to complete the question answers also by the end of this month. Today I am also going to post the remaining question and answers of civics chapter number 1. So friends, complete your work on time. Be prepared for the online examination. Hopefully on Saturday we will be conducting. Let us see how it works. So today's chapter is secularism. We have already studied in chapter number 1, that is Indian Constitution, the key features, and one of the key features is being the secularism, and today we are going to study this in detail. Okay, just go through the textbook also, because there is a storyboard given in the textbook that I have not mentioned here in the video. So you have to watch, you have to read that carefully. Okay students, let's go to the chapter number 2, civics, secularism. We are going to concentrate on civics chapter number 2, understanding secularism. Now the introduction part. Imagine yourself as a Hindu or a Muslim living in a part of USA where Christian fundamentalism is very powerful. Okay, USA, Christianity, major religion. Suppose that despite being a US citizen, you are now a US citizen, no one is willing to rent their house to you because you are belonging to Hinduism or follower of Hinduism. How would this make you feel? Very angry, na? What if you decided to complain against this discrimination and were told to go back to India? Would this not make you feel angry? Of course. You may fight stating that no one should be discriminated against on grounds of their religious practices or beliefs. This statement rests on the assumption that all forms of domination related to religion should end. Okay. This is the essence of secularism. What is the meaning of essence? Saransh or summary of secularism, that no one or should be discriminated on the basis of religion. History provides us with examples of discrimination on the grounds of religion. In Saudi Arabia, even today, non-Muslims are not allowed to build a temple, church, etc., and nor they can gather in a public place for prayers. Why? In Saudi Arabia, they are following their religion, and or I can say religious people are not allowed to build the temple, church, or even to gather for a prayer. This is the picture. You can see that different images can be found belonging to the different religious communities. Buddhism, you can see the Christianity, this picture, or Hinduism. One more picture, religion and politics, that is secularism, that religion is separated from the state. Religion and politics, it is a meaning religion is separated from the state, that is secularism. Now, what is secularism? We have already studied this in our previous chapter, that it is one of the fundamental rights given to the Indian citizens. Secularism, that we are going to study this in detail in this chapter. The Indian Constitution guarantees the right to freedom of religion. That is one of the fundamental rights given to us. We are having the freedom to choose the religion of our choice. India adopted the strategy of separating religion and the state. As you have seen in the previous image, that politics is separated from the state. Secularism refers to the separation of religion from the state. This is the main point. Secularism refers to separation of religion from the state. Why is it important to separate religion from the state? All countries have more than one religious group. If we see everywhere, take for example in India also, Hinduism is the major religion practiced in India. Other than Hinduism, we are also practicing, here people are practicing, or Islam, Christianity, Sikh, Parsi religious community, then Buddhism, Jainism. So more than one religious group. There is always one group that is majority. As I told you, in USA, Christianity is the majority religion. If you go to China, Buddhism is the majority religion, or this. And if you go to Pakistan, Islam is the major religion. And in India, Hinduism is the major religion. If the majority religious group has access means to reach to the state power, then it could result in the tyranny. I am repeating this. If the majority religious group, agar in India being a Hindu as a majority religious group, has access to intervene the state power, अगर उसको घुसने का अगर chance मिलता है तो, then it could result in the tyranny. The meaning of the tyranny is cruel and oppressive government or rule of majority, discrimination, coercion. Coercion means the action or practice of persuading. Persuading means manana someone to do something by using force or threat. किसी को persuade मना के, या फिर किसी को force करके, या किसी को धमकियों से अगर उनको मनाने के लिए, रिलीजन को प्रैक्टिसेस चेंज करने के लिए कहता है, then that is called that coercion. And at times even killing the religious minorities. Agar if the state is being given the power for the religious or religion to intervene, then what may happen? It may result in the tyranny, cruel and oppressive government rule, or it may leading to the discrimination, or it may leading to any or a coercion, and at times even killing the religious minorities. Also, the individuals should be free to exit from their religion and embrace another religion or interpret मतलब change करना religious teachings differently. Let's see this. Also, the individual should be free. Yes, that is the freedom we have given to exit from the religion. If I am a Hindu believer and if I don't believe in the practices, religious practices of Hinduism, if I am not satisfied with my religion and if I am attracted towards Jainism, then I am free to exit from my religion. बाहर आ सकते हूँ and embrace गले लगाना another religion or interpret religious teachings differently. Interpret मतलब change करना religious teachings differently. Thus, these two reasons make the democratic societies to follow secularism. So that is free to exit from one religion and free to embrace another religion of their choice. What is Indian secularism? Indian constitution states that India is a secular state. It ensures that, what it ensures? One religious community does not dominate the other. One religious community does not dominate the other. किसी दूसरे religious community के ऊपर dominate नहीं करता है. Some members do not dominate the other members of the same community. That means, see the second point, some members, let it be Hindu religion only, Hindu religious group, do not dominate the other members of the same community. उसी हिंदू रिलीजन में ही पैदा हुआ, इट मे बी दलित और इट मे बी द लो कास्ट पीपल को डोमिनेट नहीं कर सकता है. State does not enforce any particular religion nor take away religious freedom of the individuals. It does not enforce any particular religion. Nobody is saying anywhere that you have to follow Hinduism. If you are born Hindu, you have to follow Hinduism till your death. Nobody is saying. Nor take away religious freedom of the individuals. Indian secularism works in the following ways. The Indian state does not support any one religion. As we have discussed that we are following secularism, no discrimination on the grounds of religion. Government offices and schools, I am stating government offices and schools, law courts, police stations are not allowed to promote or display any one religion. I am talking about all government schools. In government schools, admission cannot be denied on the basis of religion. Even we are practicing this in the private schools also. It does not interfere in religious practices. So that's why I have discussed yesterday also that in the previous chapter also that any festivals, whether it is belonging to Hinduism or the Christianity or the Islam, are celebrated equally in India. So it does not interfere in religious practices. That is our religious practice and that is their religious practice. Let us not interfere in the religious practices. The intervenes in religion, intervene matlab interfere in religion in order to end a social practice. Sometimes the state interferes in a religion. Why? To end a social practice that violate the fundamental rights of the citizens. So the fundamental right is one of the fundamental is right given to all citizen is that is right to equality. Okay, right to freedom, right to equality. If the Hindu people, if they themselves are violating or discriminating the people belonging to the Hindu community, that is the lower caste people, then at that time the state must interfere in order to stop that. Why? Brahmins, why you are treating the lower caste people as untouchables? So it is not a good social practice. So we have to stop that. In order to put an end, the government is interfering. Its interference is required. For example, Indian Constitution banned untouchability. Article 17 of the Indian Constitution is abolishes untouchability. The intervention of the state can also be in the form of support. Sometimes it may support also. The Indian Constitution grants the right to religious communities to set up their own schools and colleges. Yes, this is that Constitution grants the right to religious communities. That is why the Islam religion, or they are setting up of madrasas or madarsas, as you have studied in your previous classes, Christian missionary schools. So they have been given the right to establish their own schools and colleges. In the USA, there is a strict separation between religion and the state. It means that neither the state nor the religion can interfere in the affairs of one another. But in India, yes, there is restriction, but to an extent. So, if any illegal practices is going on, at that time, the state may interfere. So, this is all about the chapter, that is the secularism, understanding secularism. In your textbook, there is a storyboard is given related to the celebration of festivals and all. Just go through it, read it, and if you have any doubt, then please do ask me without any hesitation. Thank you, and this is a very small chapter, and very soon you will be going to have online test. So, okay, be prepared for that. Thank you.